Slightly more light, maybe? Can it be slightly lighter, or? Well, no, just leave it. Is it ready to turn on or not? Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, good. No, it does have a lot of colored slides, so. All right. So one little difference in the meditation state. It's the same meditation, but the attitude of doing it is going to tweak a little bit. So as you sit and start to notice breathing and start to go out with the breath and do the whole thing, just imagine, pretend that you're doing this for the benefit of the world, including yourself. And I say pretend because some of you may not think that meditation does that. That it benefits either you or anybody else, except maybe because, part of the class. But so imagine or pretend or just think that, oh, okay. So for these couple of minutes, I'm going to do this thing just for the benefit of anything you think could be improved in the world, or in you or your friends or any sentient being, the environment, anything. You don't have to think about it. It's just the attitude of that's why I'm going to sit here and do this breath thing and thinking thing for a couple of minutes. Go through. All right, so the Dalai Lama has said on a number of occasions, my religion is kindness. And we've come to that part of the class. So now, pretend that you're listening to this lecture for the benefit of being. You're doing something good by listening to it for everybody. All right? Now, what does that do to your feelings? I mean, you can contrast it. Okay, now imagine that you're listening to the lecture because you're afraid. Okay? You're doing badly. You're going to listen so it won't be quite as bad, even though it's going to be bad. Pretend. Good. Now, you're listening. You're not worried. You're listening in this expansive way. Okay, now, there were some things I didn't point to in the last lecture. The last lecture was on dark stuff, existential despair and nausea and nihilism and all of that. And the Sartre quote, the wall, the guy is there about to be executed, and he's with some companions, and this young man he's with is sobbing uncontrollably, and he has no sympathy. He's cold. It's as though he were dead. But there was one little sentence where he begins that by saying, for an instant I felt sympathy. But then, that instant, that was his first take off the situation. He sees it, and that's his response. The other thing was, how come the emperor, we're on the Lazarus story, how come everybody who looked at Lazarus in the eyes went into this terrible miasma and decline, and everything was meaningless, and except the emperor, who looks at him and then has his eyes put out. But why did the emperor survive? And because at that moment he looks at Lazarus and he feels himself starting to get drawn in, and he thinks, I can't let this happen to me because I'm responsible for all my subjects in this vast land. And that saves him, so that he comes out of it and he's not affected. That's the saving grace. So, okay, imagine that right now, you can close your eyes if you want to. Imagine that you're dying. You're in the hospital. You're being taken care of. You're lying there. It's not, it's not as though the earth started shaking. The ceiling fell on you right now, which of course could happen, but don't. So you're comfortable. You have a chance to contemplate your life. Okay, now just let it pop into your mind. What are you glad that you did? Maybe one thing pops up. Doesn't have to be a big thing. And people do this. Rarely is it any big thing. Maybe another thing just pop into mind. What are you glad you did? Okay, it's a quick thing. Now, was it, oh, I'm so glad that I thought of that really cutting, subtly nasty, degrading remark to make to that person, and I said it, and I could tell it got them. Glad I did that. Or, I'm really glad I got away with stealing, shoplifting all that candy. Or, wow, I'm glad I made all that money when I was in that illegal job 3 summers ago. Well, chances are it wasn't. So think about it. What pops into mind in those circumstances? And you can, in section, this is a great topic to discuss. Okay, so today I'm going to run through some theoretical, it's in quotes because none of this is theory in our sense of theory. You've noticed that. And some of you like it and some of you don't like it. But how compassion is treated in this Buddhist understanding. And then, in quotes, experiential, because you're not actually in those situations, but the doorways through which we contact compassion, and we do it all the time in everyday life. And by the way, by compassion, that's the sort of technical Buddhist term. But what I'm referring to is not the technical, but the whole dimension of warmth, love, friendliness, all that kind of empathy, all that kind of stuff, and as included in compassion. Okay, now, the Mahayana understanding is that the openness of shunyata and the arising of this dimension of compassion are inseparable. It's like what the parts of your body, or traditionally it's said, like the 2 wings of a bird. And a bird can't fly with only 1 wing. So compassion we mean this whole system. And I believe that this same dimension is there in Theravada. It's there strongly in Theravada, but they don't make it the kind of central teaching that it is in Mahayana. They just do it. In fact, at the end of this lecture, we're going to have a few minutes of actually a Theravada and Mahayana and everyone else practice that they call loving kindness. Okay, now, here are some central points. And they're all, in a sense, the same point, but seen from different angles, so, different parts of the hologram. So, when you release your mind in shunyata, you let go, remember the pen rolling around, you let go, and then you arise the next moment aware of, interdependently with the whole world, you arise with this kind of warmth. And it is not a rational necessity that the world works that way. It just plain is. That's the understanding. So, put another way, the form, but when you really let go, the form that the world manifests is this warmth, compassion, etc. way. It does not manifest as gloom and, oh, everything is senseless. It's a kind of radiance that goes out. Now, I have seen you guys do it. If you're worried, you come in and you say, oh, I don't understand X, Y, Z, and you try and go over it. And then, you walk out and you see a friend and you say, hi, so-and-so, and whoop, you're radiating. That's it. You understand. And that's why human realm is the most auspicious realm and the realm from which you can understand the Dharma and everything, because this is a realm of desire and passion and connection and communication, and this is more natural to humans than hungry ghosts or hell realm beings, or that one can get in frames of mind, and you just keep it to what we can actually see. You get in frames of mind where, no way, this dimension seems not contactable, but a lot of times it is. You meditate for a few minutes and you stop and you start talking to each other. Okay, central point. You can start with the compassion dimension rather than the shunyata dimension, or rather than the meditation dimension. So it can be a main pathway, as in what the Dalai Lama says and often teaches, and some Buddhist traditions do it that way. I mean, there are some Buddhist groups where you go in and instead of saying sit down and do such and such with your breath, it's sit down and we're going to do a practice to evoke Avalokiteshvara, let's say. So first you're going to start to feel this expansiveness, and then you can do it. And for some people, nothing makes sense till you get to this, and they say, oh yeah, I know what that is. Okay, that's your gate. And Western traditions have this. If you go into a Christian church, likely they don't say, your shoes go over there in that rack, and that's the word of it. As you might get in some meditation centers, you have greeters and, hi, how are you today? Or, are you here? Well, and then there's a personification of this kind of energy in Christ, and people, and services are evoking that kind of energy, and some people feel it, and they say, yummy. Okay, and you can say, oh, but isn't that theistic doctrine? That's external. Suppose I don't believe in that, right? Then what? Am I out in the cold? Well, okay, next major point. Because self and other arise interdependently in each moment, it doesn't matter from which side you're experiencing compassion, either first or second or third, okay? You can tune in however that happens. So the experience of receiving this warmth and friendliness and so on, which is other things we hopefully do a lot, that counts. So bodhisattvas receive offerings as well as giving offerings, and in a lot of, well, certainly in the Western religious traditions, it may start with, well, first you have to open to God's love, and then you have it, you feel it, and then you can give it to other people. And according to this, that's fine. I mean, that's one of the ways, one of the two ways. And so the next point is that you're truly tuning into this dimension gets combined with wisdom, because look what's happening when you're in this kind of friendliness state. You're actually looking at the world. That is, you're in contact with what's going on. And when you're in contact with the interdependent world, then you know what to do. When you're talking with a friend and something bad has happened to them, you're feeling sympathetic or empathetic, and how do you know what to say? You go through you just had a class in decision making. Well, let's see, we've got this chart and we have these and the cost benefit analysis, and no, you just say something, and maybe it helps. So, and we need to be able to contact beyond reason the interdependent world to make decisions in the complex modern world. And we have an example of our own School of Engineering discovering this. Engineering schools have to teach a course in ethics for engineers, and ethics for engineers once